Hi everyone, Jeffrey from Honda Morristown here, and behind me I have the 2024 Honda HR-V. Now, if you're not familiar with the HR-V, the best way I can kind of describe it is Honda's answer for sort of that crossover size. Think the drivability of a Civic with the functionality of a small SUV. So to better explain, let's go ahead and take a peek. Now, I will admit right away, we did literally just take this in on a trade yesterday, so it hasn't even been through our cleanup process yet, so please excuse any sort of mess that you might see. Now, in addition to that, I want to, pay attention to the size here. It's around the same length as like a Honda Accord, maybe just a little bit bigger, but with a lot more of that body style of similar to like a hatchback Civic, while still having some of the features of like a CR-V, starting here at the back end. So it is a tailgate. It's not a power lift, but it does have that sort of, like I usually call it, like that hydraulic assist where you just kind of let go. And you do get a fairly spacious back end. Now, it's not quite as tall as like a CR-V's or a Pilot's or anything like that, but it is decently big. You can get a fair amount of stuff in there. Then in addition to that, these seats do fold down flat to get basically the back half of this car as storage if needed. Otherwise, again, not automatic, but a very easy to close back end, like so, all one hand there. Otherwise, we'll continue on around, and you can see this one specifically is the Sport, which is the trim level there. Just kind of denoting which features come standard on it. It is also this sort of fun, kind of bluish green color. I actually really like the way this looks. And now the HR-V is a little bit more of a stripped down, streamlined car. It's not going to have a lot of tech features just in general, but it really isn't necessarily meant for someone who needs a ton of tech features. This is a very simple car that is fun to drive, gets you from point A to point B, and has a lot of versatility for usage. Personally, I think they're a great option if you want, again, the functionality of an SUV, but maybe you don't want something quite as big. They are super fun to drive though, and honestly, you should come on down and test it out for yourself and see how much it really is good there. So you can see it's got that keyless entry there. And then we have these nice bucket seats with the cloth, kind of that fun orange stitching in there that is continued on into the back row as well. You also get this kind of slightly funky shaped center console there. I kind of like it. It's got basically a place to like put your phone where you can have it plugged in and still be at easy reach if you need something there. Otherwise, you can have it up there where there are another port to charge there. All nice there, and then kind of very simple in the center. So we're gonna hop on inside here and get it fired up. All right, so we do have push button start, which you can see lights up when you put your foot on the brake. Fires right up. And again, very simple. It's a single zone, a climate control, but you've got your dials here. Center is your fan speed, temperature on the left, and your mode of where it's blowing. All that good stuff is on the far right. You do have heated seats on the Sport, which is nice, as well as the heated mirrors. Now, I'm a really big fan of that. I'm from a more cold climate where we do have ice that shifted over. I have not necessarily had that issue since being in Tennessee, but growing up, that is what I was used to. Then in addition, like I said, we have this kind of nice center console here. We've got the shifter, which is a very nice position here. Again, I'm left-handed, so for me, I like that it's kind of at an easy reach from where I'm resting my arm. I enjoy that. It's nice and doesn't really necessarily feel like it's in the way. It again adds into that sort of sporty feel that you get similar in like a Civic. Then in addition to that, we've got drive modes, which the Sport has 3. It has an eco mode, there it goes, as well as a normal, down to econ, and snow. And you can kind of see those fun little pictures on the left there as well. In addition to that, you have some hill descent assist for if you are going down a little bit more of a steep embankment, park and brake, brake hold. Otherwise, you've got this nice bright display there, kind of show off your mileage, what gear you're in. The left side is digital, the right side is analog, which is kind of fun. You also have some controls on the steering wheel, including some safety features there as well. Simple screen with some buttons. It is technically a touchscreen as well, but you do have buttons and dials too. So a little bit of a mixture of that kind of tech and, you know, analog. You also do get this nice kind of honeycomb look, which I think is I just think it looks nice. And that is where you got your vents are tucked in there, kind of making it a little bit less of an eyesore. Sometimes vents can not be the most beautiful looking thing on a car. This kind of removes that. You got one on that side as well. And then you just have some simple, you know, window controls. All in all, like I said, there's not a ton to the HR-V. It's a very straightforward, simple vehicle for people that just need something reliable that's gonna run for a really long time. And, you know, you're gonna have a fun time getting from point A to point B. Personally, I think it's a good option for really anyone, but especially for people who maybe want a nice blend of the adventurous and the day-to-day. You know, your weekend campers that are, you know, gonna pack up a small tent, you can throw that in the back, a couple fishing poles, and you can drive comfortably to get out there, not have to worry about, you know, too craziness, because you do have a little bit of that versatility there, but then still have something that you're not going to feel uncomfortable in driving point A to point B on a daily commute. I'll leave you with this. Come on down, drive it for yourself, because like I said, it really is something where one of the biggest selling points is how it handles, because like I said, it literally feels like you're driving a car in a small SUV body. So come test drive it yourself. Honda Morristown, Tennessee. You can ask for Jeffrey. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. And I will leave you with this, the 2024 Honda HR-V.